Having sold more than 50 million vehicles throughout its existence, Toyota certainly asserts itself as a dominant player in the car industry. It also created the world's all-time best-selling automobile, the Toyota Corolla. But just how did Toyota become the car manufacturing empire that we know it for? Our story kicks off in the year 1867 with the birth of Sakichi Toyoda, who was the son of a weaver and carpenter. In his teen years, Sakichi's father decided to teach him carpentry, but around the same time, Sakichi also developed an interest in invention. These thoughts were rooted in the fact that Sakichi was interested in doing things that would provide value to the people around him and to society in general. Driven by this mindset, he set to become an inventor. Little did he know that he would one day be regarded as the father of invention in Japan. Sakichi had also noticed how Western civilization was based on machinery, since around this time the Industrial Revolution was rapidly growing as well. So these ideas planted in Sakichi's mind his next moves. As an avid reader, Sakichi had become particularly inspired by a book titled Self-Help by Samuel Miles. The book cemented some personal attributes and ideas within Sakichi that guided him throughout his life, and one of those main ideas being that one should undertake a life project or goal that gives a person a sense of purpose and direction. This book also spoke about inventions, and one that caught Sakichi's attention was the jackyard loom, which got Sakichi interested into looms, and this significantly influenced his future work as he decided he would no longer work as a carpenter and would now focus into manufacturing his own loom. Sakichi would then spend the upcoming years working at the loom company in Japan and traveling back and forth as a way to research and gather more knowledge about how he would also develop his own machine. And finally, in 1890, he patented his first loom, which kept his aspirations alive and led him into creating other looms in the years to come. Although having good performance, Sakichi's loom was not very successful and production stopped only after 5 units. A few years later, Sakichi got married and had a son, Kichiro Toyota, to whom he'd passed some of his lessons and inventive spirit. Over the next decade, Sakichi founded multiple companies and factories in Japan and China and kept on traveling to collect more information that he would apply towards improving his own inventions. In 1903, Sakichi invented the first automatic shuttle changing mechanism, which led to the production of the world's first shuttle changing automatic loom, Type T, which was equipped with this mechanism that he had invented. Now, fast forward to the year 1924, with the help of his son Kichiro Toyoda, who was now a mechanical engineer, Sakichi invented the Type G loom, which proved to be the most successful invention at the time, catching the attention of a UK loom company, the Platt brothers, who became interested in the patents of the Model G and ended up purchasing the production rights of the Model G for £100,000. For the next 5 years after this deal, Sakichi would advise his son into starting a company in the automotive industry. Sakichi, unfortunately, died in 1930, but his son had learned very important lessons from his father that he would later apply in his own ventures. Kichiro Toyoda was significantly influenced by Henry Ford, and he had noticed the American automotive boom of the 1920s, and he wanted to get a glimpse of that success by creating his own car company in Japan. He then established an experimental car research division at Toyota Automatic Loom, which started producing cars from 1933 onwards. This automatic loom company would later be rebranded as the Toyota Motor Company in 1937, with the Model AA sedan as their flagship model. Now that the Toyota Motor Company was well established, Kichiro was determined to bring his father's innovative spirit into the automotive world. But the road ahead was not so smooth. The early 1930s and early 1940s were turbulent times for Japan, and Toyota was no exception. World War II brought immense challenges and resources were scarce, and the company was forced to shift its own focus to producing trucks for the Japanese military. By the end of the war, Japan's economy was in shambles and Toyota was in the brink of collapse. In 1949, Toyota faced its first major crisis. The company was drowning in debt, and a strike by workers threatened to shut it down entirely. Kichiro Toyoda, devastated by the situation, made the painful decision to resign, taking responsibility for the company's struggles. It was a dark moment, but it also marked the beginning of Toyota's transformation. The 1950s brought a new era for Toyota under the leadership of Eiji Toyota, Kiichiro's cousin. The company adopted a revolutionary production philosophy inspired by American manufacturing, but with a twist. They called it the Toyota Production System, TPS, a lean manufacturing method that emphasized efficiency, quality, and eliminating waste. This system would later become the gold standard for industries worldwide. But even with this innovation, Toyota faced setbacks. Their first attempt to enter the American market in the late 1950s was a disaster. The Toyopet Crown, their flagship car, was ill-suited for American highways and consumer preferences. It was slow, underpowered, and prone to overheating. Sales were abysmal, and Toyota was forced to withdraw from the US market temporarily. Yet again, Toyota did not give up. They went back to the drawing board, studying American drivers and their needs. In 1965, they returned with the Toyota Corona, a car designed specifically for the US market. This time, they got it right. The Corona was reliable, affordable, and fuel efficient, qualities that reasoned with the American consumers. By the late 1960s, Toyota had established a foothold in the US, and there was no looking back. The 1970s brought yet again another challenge: the oil crisis. As gas prices skyrocketed, Americans turned away from gas-guzzling vehicles and towards smaller, more efficient cars. Toyota was ready. Their compact models like Corolla became bestsellers, solidifying Toyota's reputation for reliability and fuel efficiency. By the end of the decade, Toyota had become one of the top automotive brands in the world. The 1980s and 1990s were decades of expansion and innovation. Toyota introduced the Camry, which would go on to become one of the best-selling cars in America. They also launched Lexus, their luxury division, in 1989, challenging established brands like Mercedes-Benz and BMW. The Lexus LS 400 was a game-changer, offering luxury and performance at a fraction of the cost of its competitors. But success wasn't without its struggles. In the early 2000s, Toyota faced criticism for prioritizing growth over quality. Reports of recalls and safety issues tarnished their reputation. The most significant blow came in 2009 when a series of recalls related to unintended acceleration led to a public relations nightmare. Toyota was forced to recall millions of vehicles worldwide, and their CEO, Akio Toyoda, Kiichiro's grandson, publicly apologized for the company's failures. Yet true to their roots, Toyota learned from their mistakes. They doubled down on quality control and reaffirmed their commitment to the principles of the Toyota production system. By the 2010s, they had regained their position as a leader in the automotive industry. Today, Toyota is more than just a company. They are pioneers in hybrid technology, with the Prius becoming a symbol of eco-friendly driving. They are also investing heavily in hydrogen fuel cells and autonomous driving technology, ensuring they remain at the forefront of innovation. From Sakichi Toyoda's humble beginnings as a carpenter's son to the global powerhouse that is Toyota today, the company's story is one of resilience, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to improving the lives of people around the world. Toyota's journey is far from over. With a legacy built on the dreams of an inventor and the determination of his descendants, Toyota continues to drive toward a future where mobility is sustainable, accessible, and transformative.